Hi Gina, I hope this video works this time. Okay, so the virtual lab in unit A3, I'm going to go into the unit, I'm going to find the virtual lab, and I'm going to download the document. Okay, these instructions matter, so make sure to look into them. But I'm going to open up the document, and this is opening up right now in the web. You can see I'm still on the internet. That's not the way you want it. So if this is the way it looks, this might be the problem. You have to download it and actually open it up from your computer. So what I'd recommend is just click desktop. That's the name of the lab. Okay, so that's what I'm going to look for. And I'm just going to save it straight to the desktop. Hit desktop, hit save. And now that's done. So now here's my desktop. There's my son. Here is the activity, Photosynthesis Virtual Labs. Open it up from here, and now it will actually be the PDF document. We're no longer on the internet. That's what you want. So you were saying you were having trouble here with Virtual Lab number 1. So the website, I'm going to click to go to the website. And I'll bring that in front here. In fact, I'll split screen it so you can kind of see both going on here at the same time. Okay. Alright, so this little button here, Get Flash, you may have to click that and say Allow in order for the website to actually function. But now the website's loading. But I'm going to read what's going on over here first. So it says, bubbles are given off by the plant through photosynthesis. Okay. By measuring the rate at which the bubbles are produced, it's possible to tell how fast the plant is photosynthesizing. This should make sense because in your notes you should have found out that photosynthesis produces oxygen, and oxygen is a gas. So the bubbles that you'll see in this website are oxygen. Read the following directions. And directions on how to use this lab simulator. Press start and record the bubbles per minute for each of the following light distances. Then check your graph. So you've got your x-axis here and your y-axis. Well, what do those mean? Let's see. This is a data table. So light distance is my x. So I could write light distance down here. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And your y-axis would be bubbles per minute. Or BPM, we can abbreviate that. You'll see that later. So let's first discuss how to actually write on this document, because I'm clicking on it and nothing's happening. In order to write in this, you have to click Fill and Sign. And if you don't see this here to the right side, then go to Tools at the top, and you'll see Fill and Sign. So click that. And now you've got options. You've got text. You've got some weird X's and checkses. You've got a circle, and you've got a line and dots. For this lab, for this particular part, I would use text for sure. I would use dots and maybe use lines, but the dots are really the most important thing along with the text. So I'm going to label my x-axis here at the bottom, and it's going to be light distance. And I know that that's going to be in centimeters. Okay, and then you can move that text. Once it's there, you can click on it, and you can grab it and move it as needed. So I'm going to label this one over here. I don't think I can rotate the text to go vertical, so I'm just going to write BPM, which stands for bubbles per minute, just so I know. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my attention to the website over here. So I'm going to look around. I can click Instructions. Okay, so we've got, this is the sample of the pondweed. This is a ruler used to measure the distance between the light and the sample. So there's the sample. Oh, I see. Here's the light. So drag the slider below to move the light source closer, and the light is here. So in fact, if you take a look, you can actually see that this is a lamp. Here's the sort of lamp light source and the shade, and then here's like the stem of the lamp. But anyway, here you go. So you can see you can measure the distance. So this is as close as I can bring it, and that says 100. Okay, so that means over here on my graph, I can actually add actual numbers. Now, these don't have to be perfect, but you should try to get them to approximately to scale. So I need 100, 120, 150, 180, and 200. So if this represents it's not letting me draw a line. I know that 100, if I put 100 right here, and I put my biggest one over here as 200, and that means 150 is square between them. I'll have to move that up. This 150 be about there. And I'll tell you what, I'm just going to estimate in between. I'm not going to actually type in the numbers, but it should be approximate. That'll work out. So let's see, I'm going to do 100. So when you hit start over here, you're going to actually see the bubbles that they were talking about before. And now this has gone full screen, but you don't have to be in full screen. This has two methods to get an answer in bubbles per minute. I like BPM, this tab right here. Here's what you do. You look at the bubbles coming up over here, and each time a bubble comes out of the leaf, you tap. So tap, 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 tap. So I'm clicking this button here as I'm seeing the bubbles, and you'll get a sense that when you match the speed of the bubbles, you'll feel it kind of come together. So I'm getting a number here of about 193. So I'm going to go over here, and I need to plot a point at 193. Now I don't know where that's going to be yet, so I'm just going to record my data in the table. So 193 is my data point for bubbles per minute, okay, for 100 centimeters away for the light distance. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to move that to 120. Start. Tap, 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 tap. So that's feeling pretty good to me now. So that's 130. And again, it takes a little bit of practice, but see, I'm down here. I'm going to get 130. Okay, so you can see my text tool here, the fill-in sign, the text option is kind of my main one I've been using here. But once you get data for the rest of these, okay, you'll have some values in there. Then it'll come time to actually graph it. So I'm going to use the point here. Well, let's see. My biggest number up here is 193, so I'm maybe going to start up here at 200. And I don't know, I didn't get all my data, okay? I didn't get these numbers down here, so I'm not sure what my lowest number is, but let's just say for argument's sake that it's like, I don't know, 80 or something. So I'm going to put that at the bottom of the graph. And then I'm going to plot my data points. So my first data point is 100 over and up 193. So here's 100. I'm going to go up to 193. I think it's going to be right about there. And then over to 120. And 120 I'm going to put like right here, because 100 to 150, halfway between that would be 125. So I'm going to go just on the left of that. And I need to go up to 130. And I'm going to say 130 is right about here. Okay, and then you would put your other data points. So your other data points may be something like that. So after you have your data plotted on this graph, again, I'm doing it all digitally. You can do this all on the computer here. You can then notice this trend. So you can say, hey, is this a decreasing trend? Is it an increasing trend? And then the questions that you answer are based on your graph here. Okay. The entire lab, you're going to use these tools, the text tool, okay, to type in your answers, that kind of thing. So if you have any more trouble with it, just let me know. Thanks, and be in touch. Message me, and I think you're on my reminds, Gina, so message me through the phone is the quickest way to get in touch with me. Thanks.